So what tools are you using to build your brand, to create the flow of clients coming in your direction? What are you doing to get the awareness up and have people saying, you're my realtor, even though they're not in the market for one? That's the question. And of course, we're always dealing with great subjects here in our monthly messages. And this month we're talking about marketing. And so it's such a powerful part. I have always believed if it's not a marketing-based business, it's not a business. It's a job, it's a sales career, it's a lot of things, but it's not a business. Business doesn't operate, very few businesses operate with calls, knocking on doors, that kind of thing. Most businesses have a flow of clients coming in. Think about it. We go to buy athletic shoes and we're predisposed to buy Nike or one of the 2 or 3 major brands. We talked about the positioning in people's minds. And this week, I want to talk about the tools, because when we go from that place of understanding that we've got this strategy, or really we have to target first, and then we have the strategy, and then we get down here to the tools and we say, then for this strategy, for this group, what are the tools that I'm going to be using? And for most agents, they don't have really that big a range. They've got a website, they got a business card, they've got, very few things. And what you have to understand is, again, tools are very interesting, because just like a toolbox that my dad used to have in the garage, or just like a tool shed, the more tools you've got, the more things you can build. The greater the greater and the easier it is to build things. And so from your perspective, the question is, how many tools do you have? What tools are you using? What tools are appropriate given the marketplace that you're part of and the target market that you're going for? And so today I wanted to talk about that. I'm going to share just a couple quick slides with you, and then we'll bounce out of these. But I did want to give you a quick look at this, because I think this will be useful for many of you. So let me share with you this slide, actually 3 slides I want to share with you, and then we'll pop back and continue the conversation. But I wanted to make sure that you saw this, because we've talked about the brand, and that's important. It's going to be continuity and all of that. But the truth is, the story is what differentiates you from everybody else. You're unique. You're the only one of you. Don't try and be everybody else. Don't be like other realtors. Be yourself. And in the process, the story is what makes you attractive. As Russell Brunson would say, the attractive character. I don't mean physically attractive. I mean just like the X factor. Like, I like being around her. I like how she is. I like who he is. I like what he stands for. I see his stuff all the time. He's obviously a professional. How do we know? Because we see him a lot. That's the brand part. Then we get back to the tools. So what tools do you have that create that repetition? What tools do you have where the brand tells the same story, tells the same look and feel, and has that continuity through time? What are those tools? Well, in this, by the way, this little infographic, it talks about identifying your strengths and talents, and then of course minimizing your weaknesses, and then identifying your core values. Why is that important? Because when you identify your core values, it'll lead you to the kinds of people that you want to be around, that target market potentially, and even more so to the avatar, the actual person that you want to write to talk to create the relationship with one-to-one. Even though it's one-to-many, I'm talking to one human being. Now with that, it goes down to define creating the personal brand vision. That's what we talked about in our last video. Defining your purpose, of course, pursuing your passion, meaning let's show and demonstrate who we are. And the story does that, but our materials show that, our videos show that, everything shows that. We get down to finally building your brand with your brand colors and the tools. And at the tool level, we say, what are the tools? Well, I'm giving you a few ideas of which tools you might be wanting to look at. And I think I've got them here for you. Yeah. So we have a whole marketing toolbox. And in our Gateway to Mastery program, we go really in depth into all these different pieces and parts. And, I would just say that defining your target market, it helps you get there. Branded, well-designed, website with your IDX feed. Most realtors have a lot of things about houses and almost nothing about themselves. And so it's not about bragging and boasting. It's not about telling them how great you are. Certainly not about your designations and your awards. It's not that, but it is the brand. It's the consistency, the continuity, and the story that we tell through the tools that we've got. And here you've got the digital business cards and promotional events of all kinds, whether that's the Easter events or things like that for your families, or whether it's a movie theater event, or whether it's a ball game or some sporting thing. It could be that. It could be an event with food. Who knows? But promotional events can be powerful. Brand standards we talked about earlier. Of course, your digital presence on Google, very important. What does it look like? It's a big tool. It's one of the biggest, because when people look you up, even after being referred to you, they're still going to look you up in Google. That's a great place for you to be. Being verified, another great place. By the way, forever client marketing campaigns, that consistency. And we're going to talk about that in our direct mail pieces that we talked a little bit about last month. Your personal brochure, your power postcards, the oversized postcards, delivering messages very consistently through time that get the message out. As I'm hovering over the trash can, that as I'm dropping it in the trash, it's already done its magic. Oh, it's her again. She sold something. Oh, it's him again. He sells everything in sight. They're having an impression. It's the look, the feel, the message. And then as they hover over in the 1.9 to 4.3 seconds, bam, you still got them. So flyers, marketing cards, by the way, marketing cards, different than business cards. Why? Because sometimes companies have requirements about what the business cards have to look like, but they can't change what a marketing card looks like, because a marketing card is different. Your folders for your listing presentations, of course, all of the branded stuff for your open houses, for your signs, for your open house signs, your directional signs, like everything having that, of course, across all your social media, across all of that your brand, your look, your logo, yes, all that stuff, of course, but your tools. The social is a tool. These things are your tools. Video is a tool. Podcasting is a tool. All the digital business cards, that's a tool. So you need some tools, and the more tools you've got, the more things you can do, the bigger the things that you can accomplish. And by the way, if you've got more tools, you can build more stuff. So get the tools, make sure that you focus just a little bit of your time and attention, focus on what am I using that makes me look good at every turn, no matter where they meet me, no matter how they see me, no matter where I'm putting things out, no matter how we connect, that they're always seeing something that says, wow, and it looks just like all the other wow we have. And that's how tools are going to pay off. Listen, if you're enjoying these videos, hit the bell. Of course, you want to know when we're coming in to do new things. Subscribe. We'd love to have you subscribe. Go to Expert Partners on Facebook and join the group and join the conversation. And of course, I'd love to have you pass this around, tag other people, let us know how we can support you in growing. We'd love to know. And if you go into the Expert Partners group and talk about what do you want to know? What can we help and pour into you with? I'll be happy to answer your questions and deal with all that. Thanks. Until the next time, keep your brand building, keep your tools growing, and next week we'll have more for you.